Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Oksana. I'm the Customer Support Manager of ShortPoint. In this webinar, we are going to be presenting you the brand new feature in ShortPoint, that is ShortPoint Accessibility. And we will actually show you how you can make your intranet accessible and compliant with the highest standards of accessibility, like the WCAG and the ADA, as well as some other ones. Let's talk about accessibility and how it looks in the modern intranets and digital workspaces. So making an intranet accessible is a big problem. It's a very challenging task. Let me tell you why. Intranets are poorly accessible not because anybody didn't think of that, but because there are a lot of different requirements, and in the US these are legal requirements that the government is asking for the websites to comply with. And there is more than 100 requirements that actually need to be implemented in all pages of an intranet in order for it to have a certificate of compliance. Now, this requires some changes in the code. This requires a lot of tedious work, a lot of hours spent by developers, and a lot of effort and investment put into it. So if we talk about alternatives, of course, there are other companies that can provide very basic tools to increase, for example, the text size, to change its colors, to change the fonts, to enable screen readers and stuff like that. We, as a technological company, of course, could give you all of that. That's not a big deal. But this is not real accessibility, if you think of it. This doesn't guarantee any compliance for your company. And this doesn't guarantee that every single person in your company will be able to access your intranet and get their job done. If we talk specifically about intranets, there is one more big challenge here. The challenge is that usually intranets have tons of sites. They have very many sites and pages dedicated to different departments, dedicated to different parts of the organization, which multiplies the work by just there is just a lot of work. And it would be a really life-saving change if we could have something that could do it quicker, that could do it automatically. And this would save a lot of costs for the company, developer resources, time, money, and everything. So this is why we decided at ShortPoint to partner with UserWay. UserWay is the leading provider of accessibility solutions. It's the leader in web accessibility. UserWay's technology, which is very important, is functioning on AI, on artificial intelligence. And UserWay's technology automatically makes your intranet accessible. And what I mean by automatically is that it covers every single page in your intranet. It doesn't require manual work. It does remediations in the site and fixes accessibility violations quickly, effortlessly, without the impact on site performance and without you having actually to invest time in changing the code. And as a result, the AI tool, when it's installed on your intranet, it's going to be running all the time and monitoring all of these accessibility problems or issues, fix them, and also fix them for any new page that you will create, any new site that you will create. And also we guarantee that with ShortPoint accessibility powered with UserWay, your intranet is going to be compliant with the standards that are required for accessibility. We will talk about how you can actually get a compliance statement a bit later here. We will demonstrate everything to you. But first of all, let me present our participants in this webinar. So we are doing this webinar together with UserWay. We had to have Alon Mason, the CEO of UserWay, but he couldn't make it today, unfortunately. But we have Ben Stern. He is the Senior Solutions Engineer. Hi, Ben. Welcome. We have Joe Dormer, the Senior SharePoint and ShortPoint Consultant here with us. And we also have Mohammed Yahya. He is our accessibility expert. He is our technical leader in this. We worked with UserWay to integrate UserWay into ShortPoint, and Yahya was helping us with that. So altogether, we have spent a couple of months of work actually preparing this new feature for you. So Joe, I would actually ask you if you could say just a couple of words about our partnership and why do you see that it's important for us to partner with UserWay and have this in our product?
Yeah, of course. So we've been discussing internally how to make intranets accessible for quite a long time. And over time, we have added some features for that goal, like Oksana mentioned, things like text size and colors and improving contrast and giving our users the options to make their sites somewhat more accessible. But we know that that's not enough. And so we're really excited to be partnering with UserWay to really take that accessibility options to the next level and use their technology, embed it within ShortPoint for a seamless experience so that anybody can make an intranet site accessible to all the highest standards throughout the world.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. So I wanted to also emphasize that actually web accessibility that UserWay provides was targeted mostly for websites, for official company websites, for public websites. But we nowadays are bringing the technology into intranets, into remote workplaces, and we are doing it exclusively with UserWay. So that's a really big event for us and for the intranet community as well. Now, let me actually start the demo. So first of all, let me show you what is a poorly accessible intranet. Oops, 1 second. Here it is. So this is a SharePoint intranet, SharePoint workplace with some beautiful ShortPoint design. This is a page designed with ShortPoint. And it's actually really poorly accessible. For example, one of the most popular and demanded features is to navigate the site with a keyboard. So visually impaired people are able to navigate the website easily. Now, if I try to launch the keyboard navigation here by pressing the tab button, I will see that you see some items are highlighted here. But you see the frame is very, very thin. And it's not actually super helpful for visually impaired people. And also it's skipping some items if you have noticed. So it is on poorly accessible intranet, as you can see. Then I click it, it's on home. But then several items are skipped here and it goes here. And then if we go later onto the page, I click tab right now lots of times, but it doesn't actually include my content here. It doesn't include anything from the page content, so I'm just lost. And if a person tries to use it with a screen reader or without a screen reader, usually it's with a screen reader, all of these items are skipped, so the main page content is not reachable and it's not accessible. So this is one of the huge concerns. There are many of them, but this one is like one of the most important ones. Now, I also want to emphasize that it's not only the ShortPoint content that is missed, but also the default SharePoint content is also missed because this image and this text is SharePoint content, but neither way it doesn't work. So it doesn't pick up at all. So let me show you how we can solve this problem. From now on, like from when we start the ShortPoint accessibility, you'll be able to go into your site contents and open your ShortPoint dashboard. And here you will see a completely new tile that is called accessibility. So let's click it. And we will have this new feature here, accessibility widget powered by UserWay, and I can turn this on. So as I turn this on, it will launch a trial for me. I'll get an email into my inbox with the details of how I can manage this widget. And I'll be able to log into the widget and actually do all of the settings and see some real magic happening. Now, one important thing here is that it takes only 24 hours for this tool to process what changes need to be done in your website. So of course, we don't want to wait 24 hours. I'm gonna transfer to a website where this remediation was already completed. So, and let me show you around here. So when I have, just let me minimize the Zoom windows so it doesn't conflict. Okay, so as I enabled all of this, I have this little icon on my page. As you can see, a new icon that is the accessibility widget. When I click it, I have lots of options here, which we will demonstrate just in a second. But as an admin, I can go to manage. And this is the magic that was happening here for the last 24 hours. These are the remediations that the accessibility widget has found in your intranet, in my intranet. And this is what issues were fixed during these 24 hours. So just in such a little time, it has found 1,015 issues of different severity. And it has remediated them. So let me show you what I mean by remediation. Now, there will be remediations that require your review as an admin and those that don't require your review. So for example, color contrast. These require your review. You can either turn this on automatically or you can accept or decline all of these manually. It will be making your site's font contrast better and better and make it comply with the standards that are needed. Another thing is image alt tags. Image alt tags are basically texts that are made for people with visual impairments so that they can understand the content of the images. And as you can see, ShortPoint accessibility has remediated all of those images. It has actually made a notice that those images are decorative, that they don't contain any big purpose for the viewer, and they marked it as decorative, which is also one of the demands. And if there would be pictures with real, with some people or with some real objects, this widget would suggest what objects are depicted in the picture. Now, also what is very cool here, you have tons of remediations here that you can view. You have also those that don't require a review that you can see here. One more thing is, let's look at the keyboard navigation. So first of all, let's see, if I try to navigate it, I can now navigate it better You see it doesn't skip any buttons here. And if I'm not happy with how this focus style looks, I can make it different here. In the widget, I can choose a completely other style, maybe another color even, if I find it more user-friendly for my purposes. So here is how it can look. You can choose any color here, actually. Here is how it's gonna be navigating you in the site. And as you remember, we didn't have access to this part of the content. So let me demonstrate how UserWay widget that we integrated in ShortPoint is able to show you the content of this page. I'm gonna launch a screen reader here.
Screen reader enabled. Reading pace normal, 1 of 3.
And
Skip to main content button.
actually, this is very important that I can automatically skip to main content without it having to read all of the headers of the SharePoint page and all of the main features. I can just hit enter and get to the main content of the page like this. And
Main landmark. Hello, Dr. Williams. Hand waving. Patients. Courses. News. Documents. Antibodies. May 13th, 2021. Andrew Jacobs. Checkup analysis. Screen reader disabled.
so this
Screen
is
reader disabled.
this is how the screen reader will cope with the content of the page. As you can see, as you can hear, it's reading everything. And actually, if we enable it one more time, I just want to show you this other part of the page.
Screen reader enabled. Status of your requests. 7 updates. 14 total requests. Link.
And as you hover
Or
over
await
it,
your answer. Link.
you can use hovering, or you can use the tab. So it's gonna read all of the items.
Main landmark. Hello, Dr. Williams.
So this
Screen
is
reader
how,
disabled. Screen reader disabled.
yeah, so it just says disabled 2 times, but we're going to fix that. But generally, this is how you will be able to navigate the content of your page and make it accessible immediately. Now, as you could see, there are some other great tools here in this widget. So I'd like to give my word to Ben from UserWay to show us what is that, how it works, and how it can make your intranet more accessible. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I give my word to Ben.
So here we are back at the same site. And on the right side, we have the widget, which you can locate anywhere on your page you'd like. That's in the management settings. Here we have what we call user-triggered accessibility. Top right here, we have contrast. So we have invert colors, dark contrast, light contrast, desaturate. And this is great for anyone that has a vision impairment or color blindness. We have smart contrast. So here, if you look here, this is very light text, and smart contrast will darken that for you automatically. We have changing the font sizes bigger for anyone that has a problem with potential for seizures. So you can pause animations. We at UserWay actually invented our own dyslexic friendly font. So here you can see the text completely changes and makes it much more easy for someone with dyslexia to consume and read and understand what they're reading. We also have for older users or people that have issues with concentrating or following along. So here we have a bigger cursor. We have a reading mask. So you only highlight what you want to be reading, as well as a reading guide. So here you can read down, imagine there's a page here with a lot of words. So you will be able to follow what you're reading. In addition to that, we have a built-in dictionary. So for instance, if you're reading this page and you don't understand what antibodies are, so you can actually put in antibodies, hit enter, and you'll get an actual definition right here inside the widget. And these are just some of the capabilities and powers of these user-triggered accessibility.
Thank you very much, Ben, for your demonstration. And now let me pass my word to Mohammed Yahya, who will be demonstrating how we can actually generate a compliance statement for the intranet. Yahya, the word is yours.
Thank you, Oksana. Let me just share my screen and go ahead with the presentation. All right. So basically, we are on the same site. Now, this site has been made accessible by using ShortPoint accessibility powered by UserWay. And you can see that we have the user-enabled enhancements, which is a part of the accessibility requirements. And we also have the AI remediating the site and making it compliant with all of the standards that are out there, depending on the regulations you fall under. So the site is accessible. How can I show everyone that my site is accessible? How can I prove this to everyone? So I will explain this step to you guys. We have here on UserWay's website an accessibility statement generator. You can go here on this page. I will share the link after the webinar, and you can just fill in your details. Basically, you need the organization name, use the company phone number, the company support email, and also the intranet link. Make sure these are emails or contact details of someone who can handle issues with accessibility on your site, because people who have accessibility needs might contact your company about some issues, for example, with the site. All right. So I just click generate my statement. And you can see it's taking me to a generated statement here. So this statement will be customized to your company. You can copy this whole statement and paste it into a page on your website, which should be basically on the root site. So I pasted it under site pages accessibility. And you can see the statement. It covers all of your bases when it comes to accessibility. It speaks about how we are trying to comply with all of the standards, and it guarantees our users will have a great experience. And also, it gives a disclaimer in order to mitigate any legal issues, and also it gives you the option to contact the company. Here in one of the sections, we have the accessibility report. I believe Oksana showed you a bit about the remediations, but let me just go into the accessibility report here and show it a bit further. So this report is a detailed web accessibility and compliance report for your website. All right, it covers compliance for ADA, AODA, EN, RGA, and others. These are different accessibility regulations for different jurisdictions. All right, so if you're in EU, you would have a different regulations than in the US, and yeah. So this is the site. This was generated on December 21st, and you can see here a summary. Let me go back. So this is a remediation summary for the site that we're on just now. You can see we have here 3 levels of accessibility requirements. Level A is the most basic level. For example, it includes alt tags and different things like that. AA is the one that is most required by most jurisdictions. They will require you to have AA accessibility level. And AAA is basically even more advanced level of accessibility, which is not always required, but ShortPoint accessibility powered by UserWay is even covering this case, which is the most complicated case. All right, we have 590 AAA remediations happening on the site. So you see we have 1,015 issues fixed, and you can see here a breakdown by page and by the level, and we can keep going, and you will see here a report of all of the fixes that were done on the site, categorized by the WCAG criteria. Right? For example, alt tags, lacking title attribute, lacking descriptive text. There's a bunch here. It's a long report, and you can trial ShortPoint accessibility on your site and get this report to see what kind of remediations that the AI did for your site. There's an extra thing also that we're giving to our customers. You can see here on the same site, we have here a footer template, and it also explains how this intranet site is compliant with the latest accessibility standards. And when the user clicks learn more, it will take them to the statement, and we are showing the logos of the relevant accessibility standards. We will provide these templates on our demos website. We have different options, and you can pick and choose which one you like. And also, there's an extra thing here for some organizations that have even more strict standards. They require them to have a compliance audit report done by an expert and a VPAT report. So you can check out this page. It's called userway.org/audit, and UserWay basically provides expert auditing services for your site, and it will give you a real report done by a human, by an expert, checking your site and making sure that everything is compliant. And you can use this report for any legal related things. All right. So yeah, that's basically for my part. I will pass the mic back to Oksana. Thank you.
Thank you, Yahya. That was super cool. So that was it. I see Lionel has joined us from UserWay. Hi, Lionel. Nice to see you. So Lionel is the COO of UserWay. Thank you for joining us today.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So we are gonna go and actually check our questions to start the questions and answers session. Let me share my screen quickly. And let me start looking into the chat and seeing what is actually asked. So first question is this actually included into our ShortPoint license, or it's an extra cost? I think Joe, you can help us with this question about licensing.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Oksana showed in the demo, when you activate the UserWay widget within the ShortPoint dashboard, you'll be automatically registered for a free trial of UserWay. Beyond the free trial period, it does require an additional UserWay license. So if you're interested in that and have questions about that, you can contact your ShortPoint account representative, or also get in touch with UserWay for some more information on the pricing and licensing. Okay,
thank you, Joe. So another question is this safe, and how is my data privacy guaranteed? So maybe UserWay guys, Ben or Lionel, would you like to answer this question, please?
Sure. UserWay is a privacy by design company, and we are engineered for privacy preserving engineering. So no code. First of all, you don't install this on your backend code. It only runs in the browser. There are no cookies involved. And all of the remediations happen in the browser. So it's not like we take things that you see on the screen and send them off to UserWay. When you do your own, if you need more information, you can send us and we can tell you more details about how we protect your privacy, but that's how we succeed. Your site information does not leave your site.
Thank you, Lionel. Okay, another question is, will it make my site slower? So basically it is about performance. So as far as I know, it doesn't make the site slower because the changes are made asynchronously. Maybe you guys can tell us a little bit more about that.
That's exactly right. It doesn't affect the most important aspects of user experience, which is first content paint and jank. It doesn't affect that at all. Once the page is loaded, it makes changes in the DOM that are invisible to the user.
Okay, awesome. That's really good. Another question is this available in SharePoint 2019 on-premise? Yahya, can you tell us if this is going to be available there?
Yeah, for sure. We're aiming to launch it for on-premise as soon as possible. We are targeting online because it's the most straightforward to complete the work on. And then for next, we're going to launch it also for 2019. Yes, for sure.
Okay, awesome. And let me see if we have other questions. For the widget, does the text scaling work with fixed font sizes?
Yeah, I can answer that. Yes, text scaling, maybe we didn't show it in the demo just now, but if you trial the widget on your own site, you will see that text scaling and all of the options, they apply even if you have fixed font scaling. Yes.
Okay, cool. And also it asks, we have a question that does it also work on standard SharePoint pages where ShortPoint is not running? Yes, right?
Can I say? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
it's working all over your site, even the dashboard pages or pages which are site content or settings. It's working on all of these pages. Even if ShortPoint is not there on the page, it will work.
Yeah, and as I said, it's going to be also working on the future pages that you create, not only on the existing ones, but on any other ones that you add to your site in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, we actually have, these are actually all questions as far as I can see. Yeah, I think we are done. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me in this webinar, and thanks, UserWay. We are so happy to partner with you. We are going to be releasing more information on how to get this feature onto your intranet very soon. So check out our updates, and we will going to be happy to see you as a first customer of using ShortPoint accessibility. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. See you in our new webinars soon. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.